Schlitz Malt Liquor Professional Boxing. Brought to you by Schlitz Malt Liquor. No one does it like the Bull. By Kodacolor Gold Film. Show your true colors. And Kellogg's Corn Flakes. Simple, delicious, and surprising. Taste them again for the first time.
We are ready for the beginning of this preliminary 4-round bout here in Atlantic City. Steve Zouski wearing the red trunks, Tommy Morrison wearing the black. The bell sounds and away we go here. 4-round scheduled bout. Tommy the Duke Morrison, check this out, an 11-0 record, 11 knockouts. And his rounds sound like this: 2-1-2-1-2, 4-rounder, and then 5 one-round knockouts. This guy isn't used to being in the ring for very long, Alex.
Yeah, and he's starting out like he doesn't plan to spend a lot of time in here today. Good uppercut started it. Got Zouski in a little bit of trouble already. This fight was originally scheduled to be Andrew Maynard, one in keeping with our weekend light heavyweight theme. But Andrew Maynard had tonsillitis. He pulled out. This was another preliminary fight on the bill, and Tommy Morrison gets his network debut. Good body punches there. And again, the uppercut just missed.
One of the more recognizable managers in the game is Bill Caton, and he plays a part in Morrison's future. Alex?
Yeah, he's the man last April took over as co-manager of Tommy Morrison's career. He's and his late partner, Jimmy Jacobs, were obviously very skillful at moving Mike Tyson into heavyweight contention, eventually the undisputed heavyweight championship. Mike Tyson here at ringside also watching.
Good work to the body by Morrison.
Mike Tyson might remember Steve Zouski. He was Mike Tyson's 19th pro opponent. I should say the 19th fight of Mike Tyson's career.
And Zouski covering up, and Morrison doing heavy work to the body. Tyson at ringside there in your picture, sitting next to Don King. Morrison could only look at a guy like Tyson and see dollar signs maybe down the road. Lots of dollar signs. A lot of fights, though, between a payday like that for Morrison. Oh, and that hurt Zouski.
But you saw in between that good uppercut, you saw 2 slaps with the right hand. There, another one, another one. The uppercut is good, but the right hand is slapping. I think Tommy Morrison throws that left hook like he's a natural left hooker, but he has not yet learned to put the right hand down the pipe.
Tommy Morrison from Jay, Oklahoma, lives in the Kansas City area now where he trains.
Knows enough to use his elbow to set up a man there. Low left hook to the body by Morrison.
Zouski, oh, and that left caught Zouski right on the forehead, and you could see it rocked him back. Zouski has yet to land a real punishing blow. Looks like Zouski's going to make it through round 1. There's the bell.
You got all the right moves, and you handle them well. You got taste, I can tell, by your Schlitz Malt Liquor bowl, with smoothness and stream, in perfect harmony, like the brew that you drink. Yeah, that's this quality. Schlitz Malt Liquor bowl.
Hoffman, you started as a junior in the mailroom, and now we're making you a senior partner.
No problem.
That means giving up that piddly teenage sports car,
No problem.
disposing of that adolescent village loft,
No problem.
and absolutely, positively no more of those childish frosted flakes.
Give up life in the fast lane, but don't give up those crunchy, sweet Kellogg's Frosted Flakes. The last great taste of youth.
Round 2 is underway. Tommy Morrison and Steve Zouski.
Morrison weighed 220 for this fight. It looks to be like he's carrying extra weight. He just doesn't look to be in peak condition. He says he started out at 193 and has tried to put on weight naturally to get up to be the way he thinks he needs to be competitive as a heavyweight. But right now, it looks this weight at 220 does not look natural to him.
Zouski, the much smaller man, at only 201.5 in weigh-in, trying to...
And he looks like he could be a light heavyweight if he got in shape.
Trying to hide behind the left jab.
Right, I got it.
And as I mentioned, viewing this fight at ringside, the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world, Mike Tyson. An avid fight fan.
Yeah,
Alex.
he is. That's right, Dan. We've been at fights with him. He's as interested in 4-round prelim fights as he is in championship fights. He really loves the game. He's also watching this because Mike Tyson knows that really in order for him, and I'm not saying putting Tommy Morrison in the potentially great opponent category, but he knows that for him to really secure his place in history as a great fighter, he has to have great opponents. And he's looking everywhere. He wants great opponents. He needs the motivation. He needs it for his place in history.
Morrison landed a good uppercut on Zouski, but Zouski coming back, staying inside.
Let me repeat, I'm not trying to put Tommy Morrison in the category yet of a Joe Frazier as opponent, but
needless to say, Mike Tyson and the boxing world are searching for someone. I guess Evander Holyfield's the first name that comes to mind. Oh, another good uppercut, the right followed by the left, and Morrison has Zouski rocking on his legs.
good work there by Morrison. Doubled up, tried it again just there. Left to the body, left to the head.
Zouski trying to get anything home. Oh, and another uppercut by Morrison. Good lead right by Zouski. Grazed the glove, but did make contact.
Yeah, the thing you look for is how well Tommy Morrison is able to make his opponent miss, as well as how well he's able to punch. He's going to need the defense if he's going to go up in the heavyweight division. That time he didn't move his head an inch when that in reaction to the punch by Zouski.
Again, we'll reiterate that Tommy Morrison in the black trunks is a great grandnephew of John Wayne, whose real name was Marion Morrison. Oh, and lands another good uppercut. Attempted and missed. Zouski, though, taking that punch. Approaching the end of the second round. This bout was scheduled for 4 in the heavyweight bracket.
It's that eye-catching, head-turning, double-taking, no mistaking, gleaming, beaming, unbelieving, turtle wax shine. That neck craning, shine sustaining, heart shall finish, undiminished, traffic stopping, eye popping, turtle wax shine. Now check it out, ain't no doubt, this is what it's all about. Turtle wax shine. Turtle wax.
The fiber that's pound for pound 5 times stronger than steel, and is in the protective vests worn by police. It makes up the unique belt of road handler treadlock radials at Sears. Tough tires you can trust.
My athlete's foot kept flaring up. I'd put it out, and it'd just flare up again. Then my doctor told me about Tinactin. It cures recurring athlete's foot. Use it regularly, and it'll keep the fire from coming back.
Tinactin puts the fire out for good.
Steve Zouski staying in his corner until after the bell had rung. Didn't appear to be overly eager to get out there with Tommy Morrison. This is, if you can believe this, of his 11 professional fights, this being his 12th, the second longest fight so far for Morrison. Long distance work today. Alex, it's difficult to assess the skills of someone only 20 years old and only in his 12th professional fight. What can you tell us about Morrison, what you've seen?
It's tough because of the opposition. The opposition just as they are really, you know, just an opponent, and it's tough to judge a guy unless there's somebody alive throwing punches back at him. But you can see with his left hand, he's got decent speed with it. He puts it well together in combination. What you worry about with a kid who's had 11 knockouts in 11 fights is he gets punched, you know, knockout crazy. He just goes out there winging with hard punches and doesn't know how to set anything up. Right now, Tommy Morrison's having a little bit of trouble setting something up. He should go back to that left hook to the body and left hook to the head. And maybe use his left jab a little bit more. It looks like a good jab. There's a left hook.
And a good counter by Zouski.
It's the last time he's going to listen to me. He tried the left hook to the body and left to the head. In between, Steve Zouski cracked him. That's the other thing that happens when you fight really easy opponents all the time is you tend to get sloppy on your defense.
Well, Zouski is fighting Morrison wisely in that he's staying out of that power range. He's getting very close, right up inside, forcing Morrison to fight in close. Not able to load up on that big right. Good left that time by Morrison. Back Zouski up.
Steve Zouski lasted 4 rounds with George Foreman in Foreman's recent revival. Lasted 3 rounds with Mike Tyson. Tyson's 14 pro fight, as we said. And interesting, went the distance in 1987 with Jose Revolta, who is a heavyweight contender who has been mentioned as a potential opponent in the near future after the Carl Williams fight, perhaps for Mike Tyson. So,
good jab that time by Morrison. Scores. Morrison, though, when he gets in close, has a tendency to have that slapping right on the back that really isn't accomplishing anything.
the other thing about Morrison is you always look to see how he finishes his man. He's had him hurt a couple of times, hasn't been able to finish him. And slapping again with that right.
Of course, something you have to find out about a fighter along the way in his career is how does he respond when he's hurt. Of course, Morrison has yet to find himself having to battle back from being stung.
Now you can see Tommy trying to get his breath right there. He made about 11 straight feints and didn't throw any punches.
Inside the final 10 seconds of round 3. When we come back, we'll have the 4th and final round of this prelim.
I wasn't sure where to get my muffler fixed.
At Midas, we stock more mufflers than anyone.
Everyone promised low prices.
Midas prices take the sting out of muffler repair costs.
The difference was Midas.
Nobody beats Midas. Nobody.
I stained this last year, and it's fading already. Why?
You didn't use Water Seal Stain, the only stain with Thompson's Water Seal. It seals water out and protects against fading. So the next time you stain won't be for a long time. Thompson's Water Seal Stain.
This engineer will spend the next 12 hours hurtling through the darkness in an Acura Legend sedan. He's not testing the engine or the suspension. He's testing the interior, making sure that every control is where you need it, when you need it. Chances are you'll never tune the radio at 125 miles per hour, but imagine how easy it'll seem at 55.
The bell starts the 4th and final round of this preliminary. Remember that coming up in a few minutes, we've got the IBF Light Heavyweight Championship bout between Prince Charles Williams and Bobby Ches. A follow-up to the sensational light heavyweight fight that we had here yesterday afternoon between Jeff Harding, who really surprised everyone with his showing against champ Dennis Andres and taking the title away.
Jeff Harding, a substitute for Donnie Lalonde. One of the few times you'll ever see, Dan, a substitute come in and win a world championship. Clubbing right hand. Again, knocked down the slot by Tommy Morrison.
Morrison making it difficult for Zouski to get out of the corner, showing he at least knows how to muscle someone. But again, keep in mind, Morrison's a good 20 pounds heavier than Zouski.
And give Steve Zouski credit. He's a guy who came in here and losing, as we said, lost 9 of his last 12 fights. But he is durable, and he has not just fallen down under some heavy punches by Tommy Morrison. Tommy Morrison is not going to get this guy out of there with one punch. He's going to have to put good punches together.
A lot of pressure on Morrison as well. First time on network television, fighting in front of Mike Tyson, only 10 or 15 feet away. That's like taking batting practice in Little League in front of Joe DiMaggio.
It has been batting practice. He just hasn't hit a home run yet.
Still working the body is Morrison. He's gone the distance. He's only fought 4 rounds one time before, and that ended in a knockout.
Right, this is the longest he's gone in his career.
Never had a decision. Zouski's about a minute away from forcing him into that. Good left on the separation by Morrison, and that's a knockdown. The ropes kept Zouski from going down, so even though he doesn't touch the mat, that's a knockdown. Referee Randy Newman giving him the count.
Steve Zouski's got about 40 seconds left to keep his knockout streak alive. But he's not throwing punches. There you saw him accept the clinch there rather than trying to fight it off.
The 3 knockdown rule, by the way, is in effect for this preliminary bout. It won't be for the title fight coming up later, but it is in effect for this prelim. Zouski not able to get out of the corner. Morrison pushing him back in.
So Steve Zouski will last the distance, Dan. We're in the final 5 seconds of the fight.
We'll be back for the decision in a minute. We'll return.
Recently, the Surgeon General issued a report on nutrition and health.
There's a significant relationship between the intake of saturated fats and diet-related heart diseases.
It confirms something we suspect Kellogg's cornflakes lovers have known all along.
To maintain a balance between caloric intake and energy expenditure.
The report recommended foods low in fat and rich in complex carbohydrates. Cornflakes just happens to be one of those kinds of food.
The epidemiological evidence is compelling.
Kellogg's cornflakes. Taste them again for the first time.
You got all the right moves, and you handle them well. You got taste, I can tell, by your slim, small, thicker bowl, with smoothness and stream, in perfect harmony, like the brew that you drink. Yeah, that's this quality. Slim, small, thicker bowl.
The world's top runners compete at the Bislett International Track and Field Meet, plus the start of the Tour de France, all on ABC's Wide World of Sports, Saturday.
Back in Atlantic City, we're ready for the decision. Let's go up to ring announcer Michael Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, here's the official scoring. Rocky Castellani scores at 40-34. Frank J. Cairo, the same, 40-34. And James Condon scores at 40-35 for the winner by unanimous decision, still undefeated, Tommy the Duke Morrison.